Steve Durkins.
Chris Salim.
How's it going?
I feel like I'm good.
Good for you.
Thank you.
How was breakfast?
I was going to say I had an omelet. It took a while. That took a while.
It took a long time.
Yeah, it took so long. I think you actually posted a story about it.
I know.
We sat there for so long.
It was that long.
It was such a first world problem.
But we made it.
We did. Here we are. and I will just say, you did say one of the. I was getting up to go to the bathroom whilst waiting, and I was like, I'm just gonna hit the bathroom. And you looked at me, grown middle-aged man. And you said, "You go, boy," with a straight face. And I just looked right at you, and I'm like, "Don't ever say that again."
And we started laughing, and I was hearing you laughing, like with the echo and everything of the restaurant. Man, he's still
you could
laughing.
hear me from the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
You go, boy. Oh, should be illegal.
And here we are.
And here we still are as friends. I'm going to let that one go.
Yeah, recording this podcast.
That's right.
Man. So now, important thing here, okay, for all you watching on YouTube or listening in your car while you're, I don't know, making cooking or cleaning the house or something, whatever you do while listening to a podcast, please.
Chris just wants to say, you go, boy.
You go, boy.
Wherever you are.
Just like, you go, boy. So important thing. To leave a feedback on Apple Podcast, Spotify, go on YouTube. Even if you're not watching the podcast, just go on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel.
It helps.
A lot. Okay, so if you want to help the podcast, help us out, please do so.
Or bring an omelet.
It might take a long time.
Bring an omelet. It'll probably be faster than where we just were.
Probably.
Wherever you're coming from.
Chances are it will be faster. So, what's the topic today?
I think the topic today, as discussed, is vocals.
Okay.
And I think we had an interesting conversation about drums.
Yes.
Which was kind of cool. And it kind of turned into a multi-part thing. And so the thought was, let's walk through vocals kind of from the start of the process to the end of the process.
And it happens that you sing.
I attempt to sing on occasion.
Attempt.
I do.
Because you did quite a good job on one of my videos.
Well, thank you. I really hit song on the spot.
I know.
If I recall. I'm singing through the Channel 1 MK3. It's the channel strip next to me.
And that performance.
It gets you right here every time.
I sometimes dream about it.
I watched myself and felt it.
It wakes me up.
I felt what I was feeling in the moment.
Totally get you.
Later. That's how the good ones go.
You go, boy.
Stop it. Do you ever wonder if that happens though to people? Like you listen to a really good vocal performance. Do you think like years down the road they listen to that and go, "Oh, it still hurts me as a performer"?
I'm sure.
There must be some, right? Like some of those class, like Springsteen, just gutting it out. Like, do you think 30 years later he's still like, "Oh," when he hears it?
Yeah.
Or is he like, "Ah"?
Because you never know what happened in the studio during that time. You never know what happened during that session or in life.
Where that comes from, right?
Exactly.
That's
what
interesting.
the artist was going through and stuff.
Yeah,
there's lots of that too.
Bring like a smell. It brings you back
exactly
to the moment.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
So yeah, I guess vocals in a multi-part format. Would we start at the beginning?
Yeah,
and just go until we stop.
Until we stop. I think that's a good plan.
So I guess we'll just interview each other as we do.
Except I'm not a singer. So.
It doesn't matter. You still record singers. Once.
I did twice. a lot of those.
So that's relevant to the conversation.
It is.
Here on our, audio podcast.
I recorded good singers. Yeah, exactly. I recorded good singers and bad singers.
There's all the ones in between.
Of course.
What % of singers in your career have been just like, this is a good singer?
Oh, really good singer?
Yeah, where you're like, that's a good singer.
Yeah, something like, you have goosebumps,
Yeah.
I would say maybe, 10%.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Between 10 and 15, not more. Like something like, we're talking about like,
goosebumps.
You're impressed and it just makes you feel something,
It's the thing in my head that I use is they just have a thing that you can't package or write down.
Yeah.
That whatever that thing is, that's the 10%.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, I don't know what they're doing the same thing the last person did. And even the lyrics aren't brilliant, but for some reason I just feel I feel funny.
Even to compensate, the other person had like a way better microphone,
right. and better lyrics and better
it doesn't
training
matter.
and better whatever. And
Yeah.
this kid comes in who's never taken and just does a thing.
Yeah.
That's a small percent of people.
Yeah, totally. So I would say 10% I think is fair.
And do you think I think there's less of those people making it big these days, in my opinion.
I don't think making it big has to do with talent.
Correct.
Funny enough.
Correct.
It is in a way,
some of those,
but
the goosebumpy people I'm finding tucked in Spotify, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've never heard of this person, but you might like them. That's where they are so often now.
or playing the subway for some
Yeah,
reason. Sometimes
yeah.
you're in New York City walking around, it's like,
And you stop
Who is
walking.
this guy, you know?
stop.
I know.
Walking through the airport and you're
Yeah.
like, what is that? I feel weird at the airport. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I guess the process then starts with the person, obviously. And how much energy and thought and time do you put into at this point in your life and career? This person comes in and they're chatting with you. You've heard their demos, and you go, "Okay, I got to put a mic on this person." Do you reflexively know where you're going, mic choice wise, at this point, or are you like, "We're going to try 7 microphones to see what fits you"?
I have an idea. Maybe not 7, but I'm probably going to end up with, let's try these couple of mics,
So you're like a 2 or 3.
Yeah, something
in
like
an
that.
idea?
Yeah, not more than that.
Do you often
'Cause-
go outside of that, past that, into 4 and 5? Or is it normally within that you're like, this is great?
Can happen. But at some point when it sounds good, I don't want to waste too much time. But when I
Yes.
get the sound, okay, so yeah, that's the one. Let's
it get
just move forward.
Is that part of getting older? You're like, I just got limited time left and this sounds great. Let's keep going.
No, but I think with experience, you know what's important.
Yeah.
You kind of focus
Yes.
on what's important,
Yes.
basically, and you kind of, because you can go on and, jump into that rabbit hole and it's not going to get any
For
better.
hours. A being for hours.
Is it going to make
Where you're
that
like,
much of a
oh, I still
difference?
got goosebumps coming out of the speakers, so we're good. Let's get that. And it's not always the best mic.
No.
Often not.
No.
Often. This
No.
mic. This stupid mic.
This stupid
has
mic
made so many records in the world.
major hits
So many records.
made with this mic.
this one. No, I mean, not literally. Well, maybe this one.
I think this one actually.
No, it's
No,
this,
it's upside down. Like
You're just upside down.
it's reversed.
Can't make a hit.
So no.
Yeah.
So not this one, but yours.
Yeah, mine. So you got your mic. How much energy is going into your pre-selection?
Less than microphone selection.
Yeah.
For sure.
Same.
For sure. When it comes to tone, color, and stuff, it's all microphone. A preamp, you go like just a good preamp.
Yes.
You know,
And you kind of know, do you want it solid and clean, or do you want to put some color on it?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's kind of category
So
A or B.
This is gonna like API or Neve,
And you go on
at
from
this
there.
point. Yeah.
Yep. And then are you processing on the way in these days?
Mainly for monitoring purposes.
Okay.
For the singer.
So you're not recording.
However, for vocals, I love to record with compression. But honestly, for most of my life, I just recorded clean.
Same.
Okay, but I just recently, for the past couple of years, started to experiment more with recording vocals with just a bit of compression, just a bit.
And why would you do that?
Why would I do that? To
Yeah.
establish a good foundation. That's it. And it makes me like get to maybe a faster final product when I mix in less time. That's it. That's like, the only reason. And I remember even back in the day when I started to experiment a bit with recording with compression, I was manually, depending on where I was in the song, I was manually playing with the gain knob,
I still do that.
So you have like that singer going on and had compression going on. So you don't want to overcompress those big high notes and, bunch of energy going on. It's like at that point it was, okay, manually gaining the knob down, bring it back after it. Like that was part of my job because I kind of liked this. I do like a vocal sound with a bit of compression on. It does add a bit of silky type of character to it. I don't know. It just sounds closer to a final product than.
And for me, it influences decision making.
It does.
It does for me.
And most importantly, it does make the singer feel better.
Yes.
To hear himself or herself with some dynamic control.
Yeah. And no matter what, I'll always add some going out to them on their headphone feed. They always get a bit of compression.
Yes.
And oftentimes it's more than a bit. Like it's record ready.
And it doesn't matter, you don't record it.
Correct. But people respond to it.
They
It's
do.
very interesting.
They do.
if you take it away, like you can see people like back away
Of course.
while they're singing because they're scaring themselves, right?
So, like for me, while recording vocals, this is the most important part for the vocalist to have a good monitor mix that includes compression. Whether I record with it or not,
Correct.
It doesn't matter that much. I have preferences depending on what I do, but
Yep.
it does. Like I told you, like most of the recordings I worked on, it was like everything was clean.
Yep. And I became a huge fan of constant. You mentioned it with compression, but for me, gaining the preamp constantly. Like I'm constantly, like I'll pull the thing out of the rack and bring it over closer, so I can twiddle that gain knob, right?
And it's fun, honestly.
It's fun, and it does change the emotion.
It does.
There's something to that you know the chorus is loud, and as during that pop, you pop 2 clicks down, right?
And again, it's going to be more constant.
Yes.
While mixing and while working on the rough mix without even starting to mix.
And the singer's not reacting to what they're hearing as much.
Exactly.
They're hearing what they're hearing a mix.
Yes.
Right?
And don't forget that, if you work back vocals afterward, that recording is going to play back,
Yeah. Over and over.
Over again. So you go into these big spikes and stuff. So you better record it the right way.
Sending reverb has always been a weird thing for me.
Okay.
To singers. To you know what I mean? It's like we talked about the drum thing. Like, do you want drums processed?
Mm-hmm.
Some drummers love it. Some drummers hate it. And so, typically for me, I won't. If I'm singing, I hate it. I don't ever want to hear it.
You don't like reverb?
Because it just messes with the pitch for me.
Yeah.
Like it is doing a chorusy. Something's happening.
Yeah.
Like reverb comes in some form digitally, especially, right? And something's happening. But yeah, even sending it, like I never. It's always on the thing. It's on the template, but I never send it unless they ask for it.
Okay.
And even then, I'll just kind of give them a little bit of salt, right? Because it does affect a performance.
It does.
You get comfortable. It's like getting photoshopped.
So do you think most singers you work with, or you worked for the past years, enjoy recording with reverb on or not? Or they don't? It doesn't matter.
The experienced ones want it or they don't immediately. Like before we start, they're like, and hey, can I get a touch of reverb? And they'll go in and take one headphone off or not.
That's a
they
classic.
They know what they want before they start. And I'm like,
Yes.
yep, here it is. Dink and I unmute. It's the 19-year-old dude who's like, how far away do I stand from the mic?
Yeah.
And like, that's the guy where I'm like, do I give it to him or not? Because every song he's ever heard has reverb on it, right? But he's not going to hear it in himself, and he doesn't know what to do with his headphones. So that's always an interesting one. So sometimes I'll experiment a bit. I'll kind of do it as they're singing and see if I can hear a reaction from, because I never feed it to me, so I can tell if they're sliding differently into notes. And
because for us too, when recording vocals, it will influence your decisions.
I'll never play reverb.
So
when they're walking from the booth in, I'll pop it on, right, for them to play back.
Yeah, so then they'll go crazy.
Yeah. I'll pop the auto tune and the reverb on, and they're like, "I sound great." And I'm like, "You do." Yeah. But yeah, to monitor
and that removing one side
Yeah.
of the headphone is a very, very good way to record vocals.
Yeah, and
a lot of experienced singers, they love it this way.
And a lot of them hate it. It's really weird.
Interesting.
And it's just a reflex, right?
It is.
Any instrument. Some people like to sit when they play guitar, some like to stand, some like everybody has what they do. And if you ask them to do something else, they get all...
I usually like to sit down when I play drums.
That's best.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing your double kick metal.
It's,
your blast beats.
way more
Your blast beats are tricky when you're standing.
Standing up, it's a bit tricky.
Facts. You fall over backwards.
I know. Man, that's why my back hurts.
See a little Band-Aid on your head?
Oh, man. I'm getting old.
Oh. Pop hurt himself. So I guess, monitoring is a big one. And again, like we say in all these conversations, proper monitoring is like the gateway to awesome recordings.
Okay, so let's go to that.
Yeah.
Okay, a bit more in depth into proper monitoring. So what do you think is a proper monitor mix for a singer?
For me, I will always default to this sounds as close to a finished record as I can make it. So I want it to feel like karaoke.
Okay, but when you set up a mix, a Q mix for a singer that's in the booth recording vocals, how are you going to set up his mix?
I solo his mix and I make it sound like the thing, like the kick and snare, and I'll slap effects on things, and it sounds...
How loud are you going to make them their vocals opposed to?
I usually start a bit soft, and then have me turn it up, and it's a bit counterintuitive to what you would think. And I've only been doing this for a few weeks,
of course.
But in that few weeks, I've learned that I find singers panic more when they're too loud.
You learned that from my course.
Yes,
I remember.
Yes, they do. If singers are hiding from themselves, they get timid. and it's a weird reaction.
Yes.
Right. And then if I can hear if they're over singing more easily than I can hear if they're under singing, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, it does.
So I'll start a little soft, and if I can hear them trying to get heard, then hey, is your thing? But typically, if you say, hey, is your voice too loud? They'll never say yes, right?
Right.
So I have them ask for more.
Do you think there's a point where you have to jump in and fix their mind? Like, let's say you can feel that the performance is not quite there.
Yeah.
And that it might be a monitoring thing. The pitch is off a bit, because that's the thing, if the mix is not loud enough, chances are that,
they're over singing.
Oversinging.
And slightly out.
Yeah.
Yep. And if it's too loud, they're hiding from themselves.
Exactly.
You can see them backing, like it hurts, right?
Yes.
Like, so or they're not going as loud as they were when we practiced it, because now they're scared, right? So yeah, you can feel it. And then like to your question, yes, there's definitely a conversation. Like for me, there's a point where we kind of do the thing. We'll run through the whole thing. Headphones are great. Let's sing the whole song all the way through. And for me, that's just a lot of times to get markers, and then I have a guide so I can see where the bridge is, just with the little turds on the screen, so that's great, and that just sits there. But after that take, I'll usually like full stop, like, come on in, let's chat for a minute, and then it's a chat. Like, is your thing too loud? Is your that too loud? Are the drums too loud? And it's just like, be honest. And I'll always say something like, nobody's going to hear your mix but you, so it's not embarrassing. It's your mix. I won't judge you. What do you need? And they'll say, oh, I need way more of my acoustic and way less of that horrible drummer I hired, right? So it's that kind of conversation. Just be honest. And a lot of times they'll come up with something. It is funny after sessions to look at people's, because you get the little personal mixer.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to go room to room and look at people's mixes
so
at the end of a 6-hour mix day.
It's
what
crazy.
The drummer had. The singer had, the singer had everything. The drummer had no singer. The guitarist had no bass player. Like, it's like,
we don't need
how
singers.
do people get along? They don't. So many session guys are like, that guy just throws me off because his rhythm's weird or whatever. Anyway, so that monitor headphone mix thing is super important and super important. And it's worth the time.
It is.
Like, to me, from a performance standpoint, it's huge. The other thing I will say is huge in my 3 weeks of experience is when doing vocal only session, like we've done the bandwidth dates, the whole thing, the singer comes back, we're doing your vocals. We're doing song 1 today, and you're here for an hour, we're gonna do song 1, and then you're gonna go home, and we'll see you tomorrow for song 2, or however the schedule works, is the health of their voice.
Yes.
And recognizing that. And there is something to that, where singers get in, and I do it all. I'm like, this is not your day for this song. Or whatever, like you can hear it.
that happens.
You can hear it.
That happens.
Like they're singing, and I want to clear my throat from the. I want to clear my throat from because there's something, because they were out too late last night or whatever. So having those honest conversations is huge. Like, what are you feeling? And like any athlete, singers are like, I'm good, put me in, coach. And I'm like, no, your leg is broken. You know what I mean? Like, I can see the bone coming out your femur. Oh. And they're like, no, I'm good. Put me in. And singers do that. They're like, I got 6 more songs. And I'm like, you can hardly talk right now, right? So there's a bit of that from the chair that you just have to go, dude, like, I can see your femur. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we should take a day. So that's a huge thing, is that honest conversation. How you feeling? How the bridge is really high. Maybe let's save that at the end. We'll blow your voice out. Then let's do all the soft stuff first, and kind of building the day. And then that builds confidence for them and you, and that you care and you're hearing. Yeah. I can hear the little frog. Why don't you take a sip of water? Like, those little moments are huge for the tracking thing from a human standpoint, right?
And sometimes, like, maybe you need a bit, to be a bit more loose. So let's have a whiskey.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm already 2 in. Come and join me. Come join me. I don't even know where I am.
The world's way better in my world right now. So.
Yeah, you sound amazing.
No, and I think the communication is key. When you're dealing with singers, there's a lot of that for sure.
It is very emotional.
Very.
Like, way more than the tough ones. You don't know it's happening, but even the tough ones, it's emotional.
It is.
Especially if they've written a song that they're doing for the first time.
Okay, so what part of the song do you think is the most important to focus on?
Yes.
Recording vocals.
Yes.
What's that supposed to mean?
Yes, all the yes. Like which child would you give
No,
away?
but
if,
for-
and
no, no,
keep-
for
I'm going
example-
to keep the cute one.
For example, I would actually. No,
I've met your
No,
kids, man.
but-
That's a tough choice.
it is, I have to admit. Okay, I would say, like for me, of course, everything is important.
Yeah.
Everything I focus on. But if the first line is not quite there,
Yeah.
or it's not even above everything else,
Yeah.
I'm going to work on that.
If I was honestly going to pie chart it, yes, the first line, is money. And I would say 90% of the time, the first line you hear on something, for me, is the last thing we recorded. So we record the song. At the end, I'm like, go
Focus
back
on
and hit
that.
that first verse again for me. Before we're all done, I've got the take. For me, yellow. For me, yellow means yes. So I always say, I've got a yellow take, you're
It's
safe.
funny you say that.
I've got a yes, yellow take, but give it to me 2 more times before we go.
But you know what? It's funny you say that because I never kind of paid attention to this.
Yeah.
But I've been doing it by default without even knowing. Because this is what happens.
Yeah.
You finish the song, okay, this is a very good take.
And you're loose.
You know
you're
what?
Good.
Let's work on the first
Yeah.
line.
And
the
we're
first
fr-
couple
we're,
of lines.
we're friends now.
Yeah.
We've been through war together for the last 40 minutes.
And
you trust
sometimes-
me, I trust you.
Yeah.
Your voice is blown from that bridge we waited to do.
Yeah. And
Let's go
sometimes
back and
it
hit that.
is war, I'm telling you.
Let's hit that first line again. And it's amazing how often it's like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Because we're friends. A lot of it is just we're friends. Like, we're okay. You're good. We're good. Nobody yelled at you. I love your song. I love you. This is all good. Go.
And also a challenge and something you get used to, is to know when to stop.
1,000%.
Okay. So you start, I don't know, depending on the
Yes.
singer, there's probably different approaches, but
Yeah.
let's say you have like 4 takes.
Yeah.
Take 1 through 4.
Yeah.
Usually take 4 is not the best. Take 1 is also not the best.
Yep.
So okay, this is the peak.
Yep.
And now we're going downwards. All right, so we'll stop.
Yep.
And we're just going to overdub the rest, and keep the best one. And
Yeah.
and even when comping, we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
But
No, for me, the biggest confidence builder that shows up for me that I found is to say, I've got it. Like, you did it. We have yellow. I've got yellow all the way across.
yes,
Try to beat yellow.
Yes.
Go. Give me 2 yellow. Like, try
Exactly.
to beat. And as soon as people are like, okay, I'm safe. Like, I got it.
yeah, because you got it.
I got one in the bag.
We can use this one.
And now do one, but give me more emotion. And now I've got something I can steal from. So
Mm-hmm.
to your point, I go back to take 3, but take 4 has that thing where they hiccuped on that one line and they were free to do that, or they smiled when they said that
Yeah.
line, or whatever. So now I've got things to steal.
Like for me, it's the go nuts track.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So
yeah.
just go nuts, like
Yep.
mess it
Yep.
up.
That's it.
Just
That's it. And then when we go to do back vocals or whatever, I pull the yellow one up.
Yep.
You take 4 down
That's
there.
the one.
It's my grab bag of
Do
stuff.
you pitch correct as you go?
No.
Okay.
No, it's get it as close. If like I said, as they're walking out from the booth, a lot of times I'll just unbypass it and have it slow and low, just so the long notes, they're not distracted by something I know I can fix later.
Oh, you're nice. You're a nice guy.
Yeah, well, it saves me time.
You're a nice guy.
No, it's selfish because they're not going, oh God, I got to do that again, and I'm not going, no, I can just fix it by unbypassing this.
Yeah.
I've already unbypassed it, right? So we just have taken this conversation out of 7 notes in the song that were that easy to fix.
Yeah,
right?
we'll dive more into pitch correction
Yeah,
later
absolutely.
on. But
Yeah.
there's a lot to talk about there.
Yeah. I guess we're into singer maintenance at this point, which is a huge part of
It is.
it's the biggest part of the thing.
It is.
Like, I don't care what mic you put up. If the singer's awful and uncomfortable and
It's not gonna
and
work.
hates you and hates the song and hates what they're hearing, and it doesn't
So
matter.
even the way you talk to the singer while recording, the way you need to be very friendly, always positive. It's part of the game.
I've said many, many times that, like, the most vulnerable state that a musician can be in is after they've sung the song for you the first time on the thing and it stops and the headphones are silent. That
a
is
lot.
the most vulnerable place. And when that talkback comes on, what you say, seriously, will make the best day ever, or you can end a career. You can end a career with a talkback mic.
With people I worked with that I knew pretty well,
Yeah.
okay? That was the main joke. The band is in the control room with me. The
Yeah.
singer's he's singing his take, and then I stop, turn around to the band. We're chatting. I come back, talk back song. It's like, let's do one more. The face of the singer is priceless.
Oh, only if you know them. If this is a 17-year-old guy with his dreams in this song, oh man, Yeah, what's that? This time can you add some talent and
Oh man.
pitch and timing?
Oh, you know what we did? And this is not related to vocals, but
Yeah.
it's a very funny story. I was recording that band, and the keyboard player was like so excited. It's going to be his first time in studio.
It's always the keyboard player.
And we made fun of him like big time. I was like, we talked, the band talked together with me, with myself. Let's make a prank on this guy, when he comes in. so just follow my lead. So the guy comes in, sets himself up, and starts playing. So okay, let's do a sound check. All right, got the keyboard sounds. So I said, okay, just play one C note. All right, plays the C. He goes all along. Okay, D. And it goes through all the notes like this, one at a time, and I record. And then once he's done, I was like, "All right, you're good. I'll take care of the rest." And then we jump right away to the next. Okay, guitars.
That's
And
amazing.
the guitar player comes, tunes, and he was like, "What's happening? What is happening?" And we started laughing. We filmed the whole thing. We have it on camera.
The band is a family.
I just sampled your keyboard.
That's
That's
amazing.
It. We'll work with it.
It's
from
getting
there.
less funny each year. Like it actually is. Now it's drums. Just hit each drum once.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's the ha-ha
So-
is disappearing from this.
Go back to vocals.
Yeah. So singer maintenance is huge. And yeah, the talkback is, like, to your point, like, it's super important. And it's there's a piece in there that oft gets lost, which is honesty. And if you just say everything's great, that's no good.
No, exactly.
And if you just say everything's bad, that's no good. Right. And so it's that was great, but how about?
Yes, so something I usually do, when I think it could be better and it's not perfect and we need to work on it and it's not getting any better.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, take a break. Come here. I want to show you something,
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
listen to this part together.
Yeah.
What do you think?
And even in, because and for me, it's like by take 3, I know where the mistake is repeating.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when I'll bring it up.
Yes.
A lot of times it's not going to happen again. You
Yeah.
mispronounced a word or you went flat on something. It's statistically not going to happen again. Or I know it's not. And I'll always say, like, just if you mess up, do it in a different spot than last time, right? Like, it's that. And there's a lot of the trust comes from that kind of stuff. For me, there's a huge, once a singer, you've worked with them enough, they do trust you. Like you go faster and faster. It's like, I got that. And they're like, you got that. And we just keep going. Where before they would have been like, are you sure? But they've heard what you've done. And so, yeah, one of my lines I will always say is I can fix pitch, I can fix timing, I can fix intonation a bit, but I cannot fix like the story. I can't fix the vibe. I can't fix what you're trying to sell.
Exactly.
I can't fix that.
Exactly.
So if you have to go a bit sharp to sell me on that note, go. I
there's some stuff
got
we
it.
can fix, yeah.
I got that.
And we know.
Sell me the note, even if it's not perfect,
Yes.
right? And so there's that.
Yeah.
Come in at that thing, and even if you miss by a little bit, I'll nail it. Just come in like you mean it, right? It's those kind of
exactly.
things.
And in those cases, what I do it right away.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure
Yeah.
I got the take.
Yep.
So I'm going to fix it
Yep,
right away, pitch
100%.
correct it right away. Okay.
And they
we're
go,
good. Perfect.
whoa.
Yeah.
And the next time you say it, they're like, okay.
Because I don't want to end up into like later on editing the session or mixing the session. It's like, oh no, it doesn't sound that good when I pitch correct it. So but now the singer is gone.
And when you show them the magic trick, they trust you more.
Yes.
Right? There's something to that.
Yeah.
Where they go, oh, you did what you said.
They know they can risk
And
a bit more.
it takes 1 second for you
Yeah,
to prove
for
it,
sure.
fix it, prove it to yourself and to them.
For sure.
And then go on to the next trust fall,
Yes.
right? So that's a huge part of it.
So you don't, like you told me earlier that you don't do pitch correction, like manual pitch correction on the spot.
Manual pitch correction.
Because this is the way I kind of like to pitch correct stuff. There's auto-tune for sure.
Yeah.
There's the automatic type of pitch
Yeah.
correction.
Yep.
I'm a manual guy.
Yeah.
I kind of like to,
Oh,
and
million percent.
I'm pretty sure you do too. Yeah.
1,000,000%.
And after a session, when I have like everything I need,
Yeah.
I'm going to comp my vocals right away.
Yeah.
And I'm going to, once this is comped, I'm going to bounce this up and I'm going to do my manual pitch correction right away. Take a break and go for a beer or whatever, go to the store, get a bottle of water, do your thing.
Bring me a beer.
And bring me one, maybe two.
You've
Sometimes
heard
it's
this
three.
vocal? I'm gonna need 2. This is a 2-beer vocal.
2 whiskey. No ice.
Yeah, no time for ice. Water's down my whiskey.
Exactly. No, so,
Especially if you're doing back vocals.
yes.
That's a big one.
Yes,
I want to time it
exactly.
and tune it on the spot. Okay, so
Exactly.
manual, that's a different conversation.
Yeah. So I have what I need.
Yes.
I do the thing.
Yeah.
And then, okay, we'll listen to it. All right, so now I know exactly where I need to work on some overdubs, or if I'm good to go and work on the back vocals.
And that for me fits in any category. Like drums, I'll do the quick drum fix.
Yes, exactly.
I'll do the quick, that was better, this fill was better.
Because I want to make sure.
I just do that on the fly.
I want to make sure I have everything perfect before I move on and, you know.
And then I'll playlist right beneath it, the one I worked from, so I can go back and change my mind.
Always.
Like that was a fast, I can do that better or whatever, it's sitting there. But yeah, there's definitely the comp. I'll call it work comp is what I call it. When I tweak it, throw it up there, and that's what goes to the headphones.
Exactly.
And it just comes off my main playlist.
And sometimes, after you're done all of this, it does happen that you need to get back on song 1, even if we're working on song 3.
Yep.
Because song 1, that bridge needs a bit more work,
Yeah. They had the weird throat thing that day.
Exactly. Yeah. That happens. You need to just
better
go
on
back.
day 2. Yeah, that happens a lot, actually. Even looking at a mix session, it'll be like, I call them FL Vox. So small F, capital L Vox, final lead vocals. So my FL Vox, and then you'll see FL Vox day 2, FL Vox day 3. So we'll keep coming back to try that bridge.
Especially if you're working on more than one song
yeah.
with the artist.
Exactly.
Like, let's say you're producing like a 5-song
Yes.
EP.
Day 3, they are warm and amazing.
They
And this
are
voice
amazing.
is going to sound great on that song 1 bridge.
So let's redo.
Quick, let's do it.
And sometimes it's like, let's record the whole thing.
Yeah, it
like,
happens.
Song 1 all over
and
again.
everything we tried to do for an hour on the first day is done in one take.
Yeah.
It's amazing
Exactly.
what the walk away and come back does.
That happens too. So, all right. So let's stop here for now.
Yeah.
Okay. When it comes to recording vocals,
Yeah.
we have more to talk about,
Singer maintenance, I think this could actually be called.
Yeah.
Turned into a neat
that.
conversation.
I love that.
Yeah. That may not be talked about enough.
I don't think so.
And it's a really important ingredient.
It's very important.
We should make this a whole episode and call it Studio Stuff.
Oh.
With Steve and Chris.
I would go more with Chris and Steve.
You always do.
But
because you have Photoshop and I don't. That's why it's that's expensive.
Hey, sucks to be you, man.
There's worse people than me for sure.
You go, boy.
Yeah.
All right, Steve. The question of the day.
Question du jour?
Du jour. La question du jour.
Don't use more words. I only had one. Don't push it, Frenchie. I was super excited about what I did.
Maudit jaloux.
And then you just made it.
T'es juste un
You
jaloux.
made it awkward for me. At least you didn't talk about. I didn't hear my name in there, so it's good. So Andy Tullis, our friend,
Yes.
from the internet, sent a question in. I think it was on YouTube. I think I just stole it right off
comment
YouTube.
on YouTube. Okay, important here. If you want to leave your questions, you can use the link from our website that is in the show notes of the podcast, or you can simply leave a question under the comment section of any of our YouTube videos. And here we are.
Here we are. Andy, so this is a cool question. When using samples, drum samples.
Okay.
I think this came after one of the drum episodes. When
Yeah.
using drum samples, should you try to find ones that are tuned to the original drums? Does it matter?
That's a great question.
It is. And he ended, Steve, just know that Chris is a Jedi in the world of mixing.
I don't know about that.
And then I think I replied, YouTube it's pretty fun. Go on there because I just go on there and I act just like this, but on YouTube. I think I said something about Chris being a Jedi at cooking and beard maintenance or something. It's pretty funny. Anyway, yes.
Man, honestly, I never pay attention to this. Funny enough, I don't pay attention to this. By default, I think it's like, if it's way off pitch, I'm not going to choose it. It's like, I think it's instinct at this point. I just mainly focus on the character of the sample. Am I looking for a more high-pitched type of sample or a fat type of sample? What do I want to achieve as far as the tone goes? Is it going to be more dark, more bright, more heavy, more fat, or lighter and snappy?
Yeah.
This is what I look for when it comes to samples. Because when we talk about pitch, there's pitch for sure. Unless you have toms, yes. But that goes a lot with overtones. A lot, but Tom's more than snare and
Tom's
kick.
be the place that gets me, especially if
More.
it's doom 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 doom.
Yes.
doom, and I've got the overheads cooking good,
And that is if we're using samples on Toms.
and that's
because
become more and more rare.
Yeah, for me and for
me
you
too,
also.
yeah.
We talked about that.
yeah.
In the,
Yeah, snare.
not
Like
really.
if Buddy's got a little ping ping snare, and I want it to douche, like, do you care?
No, I don't.
I don't either.
I don't.
I just use more or less of the original.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And if I like a sample, but there's too much overtone, I'm just going to kill it.
Yes.
With a
Yep.
plugin or something, you know?
Or just blend in the original.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the samples aren't to fully replace, they're to complement.
Yes,
Or to
this-
add to.
this is how
so
I use them.
sometimes, interesting place to land, Andy, it's the opposite. Now that I'm thinking about it, if he's got a ping ping snare and I want to add some woof woof to it, I get a woof woof sample and mix them.
Man,
Right? So
I love your terms.
these are technical. I've been doing this for weeks, dude. I'm sure I got that off the internet.
Man, it's
I probably got
surprising
that from one of your classes.
I'm pretty sure you did.
One of your course, the woof woof
That's the-
ping ping course.
That's the only way. The Ping Ping Woof.
Woof woof
Yeah, the Ping Ping Woof class. I remember that
.com.
one.
It's one of your better.
It's one of the best.